So, wow. Um, this morning's release was pretty crazy because I actually had to get over Saturday's devil winds, like serious devil winds. Um, Remember I said it was a good time to take a nap because the devil winds were blowing on Saturday? Yeah, yesterday it was pretty insane. The the devil winds blowing. And so, oh gosh. And so yeah, it was a pretty crazy release. And it took, you know how it is your hot water? You have warm water, then hot water, and then cold water because you're in the bathtub for a while, just releasing, blowing your nose, make sure the pressure is regulated. It was like, I don't usually take showers where it turns into cold water, but sometimes the showers have to turn into cold water because I use up all the hot water. And this was necessary because last night when I brought my husband home from his trip, I swear I was coughing, like I felt like I was coming down with something. And this morning when I woke up around 6, I felt my whole head was filling up with mucus. And that is an indicator that everything needs to get released. That the body found a way to cordon everything off and channel it to the proper places and then give me the opportunity to release, because I will never snark that stuff down. I will never swallow any of the mucus that comes up through here. I never push the poop back in my system. Absolutely fucking not. And so that's one of the ways where I have dodged so many cancer, disease, and chronic illness and autoimmune disorder bullets, is because I know how to leverage the pressure in my body to release the demons. Because that's why I turn to milk and whipped cream, because that gives you the nutrients, the fats, all the necessary elements to carry in nutrition and also carry out the demons. It's a carrier force of nutrition and carry out the demons. And that's what mucus does. It carries in stuff and it carries out stuff. It doesn't really carry, yeah, it does carry in, because when you are exposed to something new, like somebody's spittle, and that mucus carries in a new world, your body has to acclimate it to it. And then you have to eat food to support that. And if there is instability in the environment and your body has to go through some kind of energy conversion, what would have been a friend to you could turn into an enemy. Well, how is that? Because different algorithms, different energy frequencies, different energy conversions can make certain things in your body or certain microbes more prevalent and grow faster. And so then what was a friend, because they were balanced, they weren't overstepping boundaries, the friend turned into something like a monster. And so then you had to release the demons. And so that's a lot of ways how you can characterize what's going on. Because not necessarily you catch everything, like what happened, like something floated through your house and a little microbe came through and afflicted you, and now you're releasing demons. Sometimes you have friends and they turn on you, or they become so needy that they're taking more resources than you're able to give. And so then you have to release. Okay, that's the balance of friendships. That's a balance of microbes in your body. What would have been balanced can turn unbalanced, and then you have to learn how to release. And that's essentially with my husband being gone for a week. Okay, and me feeling like I was dealing with a monster. But remember, the barometric pressure was going up and down, And that causes instability, and it turns, I guess, friends into enemies. And then you have to release the demons. Okay, so there's a lot of, oh my God, there's so much to what's going on. And it's like when you think you've simplified everything, you think you simplified it. Nope, there's something more to simplify. And so something triggered me yesterday. And I mean, that's why I don't respond to people on their Facebook if I see something anymore that triggers me. I'll just take their meme and I'll go and modify their meme based upon my perspective, my context. And I'm not overstepping boundaries. I'm not trying to convert them. If they happen to look at my Facebook and it's a meme that they posted and I posted something to counter it, I'm not attacking you. I'm not confronting you. I'm not doing anything to make you feel wrong for it. My world is my world. I will take any information that I come across and I will convert it based upon my intentions. You have your intention in your world, and I will not at all dishonor that. That's your world. I won't try to convert you, but I will take your information and convert it to my intention. And that's exactly what science is. It's taking information and converting it to your own intention and spinning it to your belief system. That's what all the psychology world, the science world, positive religion science is taking energy and then applying meanings to it. And of course, when it comes to the medical system, is applying diagnosable meanings to it. That's the DSM. The DSM has been famous for diagnosing people, diagnosing life, diagnosing behaviors. Oh yeah, sometimes behaviors can be really way out there, like schizophrenia or homicidal maniacs. I mean, that's probably not an actual scientific term, but well, it could be. But the DSM is famous for taking everything and applying a meaning towards it. And of course, based upon then the overall general acceptance, consensus of a society, then they vote on whether or not that's something that should be a malady versus a lifestyle. Okay? Because who is really anyone to judge, but it just depends on how that behavior impacts society as a whole and in you as a person. And so, of course, I understand when people are at deficits, like major deficits, and they don't want to feel energy. They have so many microbes inside that really want to break free and need to be controlled on how they break free or not break free at all, need to be held hostage. Then yeah, the medical system and the holistic system, the licensed professionals have to then diagnose you to then apply some kind of remedy, a surgery, whatever. And that's why only a licensed professional can stop your energy or cure your energy or, allow you to suffer and die. Because that's also the other side of it. When they have nothing left to cure and there's no more medicine left for you to go under, then you are left to suffer and die. And, or beyond something like morphine, where it basically helps you sleep into death. And oh my God. And so yesterday someone triggered me and they posted, and I'm going to read what they posted. And I like the person. I think she's a nice person, and I used to know her, but we definitely have different belief systems. Not that I'm going to go and try and convert her, but she posted, when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. I saw that. I'm like, oh. I wanted to say something on her Facebook. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to just take control of myself. And I did. So I would try to X out that post and not see it and not try to react to it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not stuffing my feelings, but I'm not going to confront her either. So what do I usually do? I just take that meme and I go put it in my gallery and go modify it. And so when it says, when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same, well, when you turn off your defense systems, when you're under the influence, when you're inebriated, same thing, when you're drugged out, when you're told to stop your feelings, you're told to not feel and told to only feel happy or feel pleasure. So when you turn off your defense systems, which is fight or flight, okay, you think there's something wrong with everyone else. Maybe you're just numb. So when you're supposed to be numb to our society, not really feel it. If you feel something, it means something, and then you can't feel this, or you should take a drug for this. And so when they say red flags and butterflies, so red flags and butterflies, that's all subject to perception. That's all subject to a belief system. Butterflies. See, when someone's when nervous, when they go onto a podium to speak in front of a large group of audience and they haven't done that before, they get butterflies. It's nervousness, right? And red flags and butterflies, okay, they're the same thing. Red flags, there's something, why are you nervous? Because you haven't done this before. You haven't figured out how to adapt to it. You haven't mastered that situation. That's what red flags and butterflies are, is you haven't mastered that situation. Or you haven't figured out whether or not you should leave that situation because you never came upon that situation. See, if you master a situation, you know when to leave. You know when to stay and deal with it, and you know when to leave. Okay? So when all you know is fight or flight, that's your defense system saying, okay, you need to fight something out, blah, 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 all right? Or you need to leave the situation. So when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. And this total fucking manipulation. And you know how people are, they're like, oh gosh, you know, when someone has been raised with so much violence in their world, or they're always defending themselves and always seem to be attacked by everyone, then red flags, which is like, you know, danger, danger, and butterflies, oh, a little bit of nervousness, all feels the same. And I'm like, oh, you fucking kidding me. And so this is where the system has taught us that we should not, we really should not feel, really. Okay? And that when there's red flags and butterflies, and then I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Red flags and butterflies all feel the same. Well, yeah, you know, when you're in a world that is trying to destroy you, literally trying to destroy you, yeah, they are the same. When I say until you master it, until you master how people try to destroy you. And so you have to feel stuff. Okay, so from what I took from that, when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. What's wrong? No, there's actually differences. Red flags are extreme. Butterflies are not as extreme. But you have to feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling. Okay? And so until you're able to master the situations, okay? Until you're able to master situations, walking away is the best thing. See, when all you know is fight or flight, when all you know, that sounds pejorative. When all you know is fight or flight. Now, I know more than fight or flight. But I'll tell you, when you're in a society where being numb and not feeling and being under the influence is the main thing, and having every single energy leaving your body or coming in your body is being diagnosed by a freaking professional who wants to give you medicine, dude, that's when you diagnose life, death is the only answer. Okay? And so I really had to figure out how to explain that. And I probably didn't explain it very well. But you could see nuances of pejorativeness, that it's not okay, that it's not okay to go to your fight or flight. It's not okay to fight, and it's not okay to leave. And that then you won't know the difference between, you know, red flags and butterflies, whatever the fuck that is. That's just levels of magnitude of severity. That's all it is. But until you master those situations and discern whether or not it's worth fighting for, or if it's worth leaving, okay, what the fuck is the word? What's that statement for? That's to make somebody wrong for feeling something. And that you should be feeling happy and joy and pleasure and under the influence. What do they say? The happiest states or the happiest cities in America is like San Francisco, San Diego, San Jose, California, Madison, Wisconsin. There's like maybe the five. I said San Diego. I'm like, oh yeah, the drug capitals of the freaking, you know, the drug capital of the world, or cannabis capital, when everyone's under the fucking influence, high as a kite, or under, you know, doctor's care. They're happy because, yeah, they've been programmed to be happy and do their job for a minute until then they have to go move to Florida because they can't handle the extreme climates. They have to go move to, you know, Hawaii or something because they can't handle the climate. Yeah, and then you look at the median income, you look at the median age group, and then you look at Florida. Florida isn't the happiest. There's nothing in Florida is the happiest. But who's happy? Those who are under the influence, programmed to do a job. They have to be programmed. Again, the land of the reformed cults, San Francisco. San Francisco is one of them. San Francisco, San Jose, San Diego, Madison, and some other city. The happiest cities in America. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I know, I get it. So finally, I actually fucking woke up, simplified everything. When you diagnose life, death is the only answer. Okay? And so I remember these lyrics from Gem. And I think Gem is I don't know if she's Irish. Gem group. Gem singer. Welsh. She's Welsh. She's English. She's Welsh. The fucking English, man. They're awesome. Scottish too, Irish too, but she's Welsh. And she's actually 47 years old. She's my age. Actually, she's a little younger than me. Wales. She's from Wales. But she got it. She got it. She understood. She wrote that song way back when I was in Hawaii. I was in Hawaii back in 2004, 2005. And I was listening to that song when I was in Hawaii, playing it for everybody because I loved it. When you finally woke up, finally woken, gem lyrics. I've been thinking about things for a long time, for a long while. I'm feeling so calm. I've got a big smile. I had a view of the sun right over the sea. And now I can feel life is flowing through me. You see, I finally woken from a long sleep. I'm ready to jump to make that blind leap. Well, that's exactly what the J world is, the blind leap, because you really don't know how your predispositions are going to come out and then what you have to deal with. Because now I believe I have the power in me. Well, duh. I've got the faith, baby. I can truly be free. Well, yeah. Finally woken. Child, don't worry. It's okay. The sun is out for another day. And I say, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, right? Of course. Remember, if you're still alive, you have every chance to turn everything around. Remember this. Remember, child, don't worry. It's okay. I've got a big smile. Feel good. The sun is out for another day. Someone's shining on me. And I say, it'll be all right. Be all right. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Remember. And she says it again. It keeps looping, right? And so that's the thing. That's so, like, you don't have to say too many words. That's right there is everything. That right now you guys are alive and you're going through your freaking cycles and whatever. And you know you can always freaking redirect. That the sun will outbe it for another day. Okay, even though with all these crazy storms and the barometric pressure going up and down, causing you to be unstable and then release demons and cough, sneeze, and blow your nose and be hungry. But that's just part of it. I'll tell you, if I hadn't done that this morning, I would be carrying some kind of disease in me. Okay, if I hadn't coughed, sneezed, and blown my nose and poop and pee and all that stuff. All right? And so it's the barometric pressure. The people around you have certain proteins that are different that you're going to have to adapt to anyways. That's just a given. And so when the barometric pressure goes up and down, people get sick. No different than when you keep going into different states or travel and then you get sick, right? Because you're going through different barometric pressures. You get exposed to different people and their microbes. And so I remember, going into Ohio, getting really sick back in 2010, and then going into Florida with my husband so he can meet some of his other family members that he hadn't seen in a while. And I got really sick. Then he went off to NASCAR with his dad while I was sick. So I just was like so sick that day. And and then we came back and went to California from there. I didn't really get sick because I'm used to California. But even when you go travel on a plane, you get sick because you're going through different pressure, different time zones and pressure. Okay, and that's where people get sick. But now you don't have to move anywhere because your environment is going to move around you and make you sick. That's the thing. See, gone are the days of being in a homogenized environment where you don't have to leave your house or leave your immediate area and get sick and get acclimated. No, now the system is going to keep moving the atmosphere and cause the ions to keep moving and cause instability and wake up the demons inside and force you to deal with stuff that you've been putting dormant through all the medications and surgeries and all that. Okay? So if you don't get sick, you will age aggressively. And so getting sick, feeding, and releasing organically, and that doesn't mean using organic food, will prolong your life. Literally, it will if you can handle it. But if you can't handle it, then you have to get diagnosis. And that diagnosis is diagnosing your life away. And doctors are the only ones that can diagnose your life away. That's it. Nobody else can. And so the demons of the DSM is using psychology to develop meanings around energy. Allegory, politics, religion, science developed those stories and meanings and symbols. And that's why those stories had to be in place for years and years and years. And then you develop the psychological analysis. And that's where all the, Carl Jung figured out the dream meanings. And then Freud figured out how sex was somewhere involved with all of that. And so then all the different philosophers figured out how to then develop more stories and movies and scripts. And then you're watching stuff like You People, which you should see on Netflix with Jonas, whatever his name is, and then Eddie Murphy. Nia Long. Oh my God, the funniest. You should watch it. I can relate to Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She reminds me of the quintessential Jewish mother, and that whole side of it I can relate to. That's a lot of where I came from. Okay, so I'm like, holy shit. I'm like watching my own family right now. But I mean, I wasn't bringing in an African American as a husband, but like my husband being a little bit different. I mean, we didn't merge families, but that's kind of like what it's like right now in this world is we're merging cultures together, and they're having problems merging together for many reasons. All right. And so yeah. So anyways, and I got off on a tangent, but yeah, the demons of the DSM is using psychology to develop meanings around energy. And in allegory, positive religion, science develop those stories and meanings and symbols. And that's why you have all the different cultures. And probably why California is so full of different gangs and different religions and different cults, and why we have so many different religions, because it was a way to make people feel like if they felt slighted or felt like there's bullshit in this religion, they woke up in this religion and said, oh God, it's all bullshit. Then they go to another religion and then get caught up in that, and then say eventually die in that religion, or say it's bullshit and go to another religion and go to another religion and go. And there's like probably 1,000 religions you can go to and find a home in, relative to where you are in the spectrum of life and death, and the meanings, and your college, and your circles of influence, and the stars that you're worshiping. And oh my gosh. I mean, the Rosicrucians developed a very advanced society and gave everybody a place to be. And the ones that couldn't fit in, now you have the internet. Okay? Because now, even if you have nobody in your town that understands you, you have somebody out there that will fucking understand you. Even if they're 10,000 miles away, there's somebody there that can connect with you on some level. And so now you're seeing everyone now merging together. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so there's that. So yeah, I mean, let's make this simple. When the barometric pressure rises and falls in different seasons and storms, and that's why America's seen a lot of stuff. Some places are not getting the aggressive frequency changes, and so they think we're fucking crazy. They think America's crazy. They think I'm crazy because they don't feel anything. And they're like maybe they're in a different part of Europe, and maybe they're somewhere in North America, like Canada, and maybe they feel stuff, but very slightly when they are on drugs. So when you're on drugs, you don't feel nothing. So you think everyone else is crazy. Well, that's the thing. When you get off your drugs, get off your cannabis, get off your herbs, stop seeing your therapist, you will feel what it feels like to actually live. But if you can't handle life, you will need to be diagnosed. You will need to be under the influence. You will need to have everything diagnosed away with a remedy, a pill, powder, supplement, detox, and a surgery if life is too much for you. They will keep taking away life systematically, and you'll still be alive until you're not. Okay? And that's exactly our world, is you diagnose life away. That's exactly the medical holistic system. That's exactly those who cannot handle life have to see somebody who's a professional in taking away pieces and percentages of their life force. Hold on. And so I finally woke up and figured out. And it took reading that meme from somebody, because that does come from, it's like a pagan thing, but it's not just pagan. It's also in the non-pagans, those that are religious or, in their Bible. Okay. They do the same thing. They diagnose things. They make meanings out of stuff. They use words that are not theirs to go explain their feelings. But you take away someone's Bible, you take away someone's therapy, you take away someone's medicine, you take away someone's lifestyle, well, not lifestyle, you take away someone's politics, religion, and science dogmas, and it's just simply energy. You take away all that meaning that's being applied, and all it is just an energy you release, and you eat food, and that's it. There's no meaning you apply to it except the fact that you have to learn how to open your system like a tardigrade. Like you see that tardigrade, that TikTok video of the tardigrade with his little nose going in and out. That's your sphincter that goes in and out. And I'll tell you, when you're releasing, like I was releasing, you could feel that the sphincter go in and out. You could feel that little tardigrade nose go in and out. Okay? Then you look at the tornadoes. You look at the big shelf cloud, right? And then you see another layer of a circular, like it looked like a circle of hell, like a freaking sphincter. And then you see that long thing, that tornado thingy, what is that, funnel cloud that comes down and causes all that mess, that suction, and then that destruction. Okay, that's like a sphincter sucking up things or messing with whatever. It's like you having lightning bolts come out of your ass and cause destruction when you think about it. Okay? And so you see the macro level, which is the tornadoes and the shelf clouds that have all that cytokine storm. And you look in your own body, mind, and spirit, and you see how the cytokine storms inside of you are causing the destruction. You see the tornadoes causing the destruction. And you see there's a correlation. So inside of you, you have a controlled cytokine storm inside of you on some level. And when you try to anesthetize yourself with pills, power supplements, detoxes, or denying yourself food because you're afraid of the poisons, then you're allowing the environment to suck the life out of you. And that's the aging process. Okay? So if you really want to understand the J world, you wouldn't believe in the aging process. You would not be aging or say, okay, I'm okay with aging. Some people only take aspects of the J world, but they will still believe people should die, and they too themselves will pass away. And they're okay with it. That's what I'm saying. The J world is so evolutionary that some people can't keep up with my evolution. And they stop at certain points of my evolution. Some people are still stuck back in the old book, in the first book. Some people kind of sort of understand the second book. Many have not figured out my last book. Many will not figure out this book because they're too busy blaming somebody. They're too busy taking their pills, power supplements, and detoxes and surgeries, too busy with their social life. And I get it. You've trapped yourself in a world that you can't get out of. And it's your own jail. No one's jailing you, but people jail themselves because they want to get validation from their friends, their family, their activist friends and family, their children, because they could be adult children that will not allow their parent at all to evolve. That's what sucks, is when parents get older and they're not as strong as their children, because their children are relatively strong. Their children will destroy their parents, will absolutely destroy their own parents, will not help them out in anything, will not support them in redirecting. That's why you be careful when you have children, when they get old enough to actually be the one to have the power of attorney over you, and that they can commit you. Oh. Because then you also have an estate. You also have wealth. You've established yourself. You have stability. And so it doesn't behoove a child who's like 30 or 40 years old to help their parent redirect and stay alive if there's a whole huge estate that they're going to inherit someday. That's the dangers of allowing your kids to take over your fucking shit. So if parents can't seem to separate themselves from their kids will freaking cannibalize the fuck out of them. Oh, I see it all the time. That's why people don't like me too, because they have parents that are listening to me that have a huge estate, and if a parent wants to like finally redirect and wake up from all this bullshit, the kids are like, fuck no, you have millions of dollars or thousands of dollars that I'm going to inherit one day. So it's not going to be lucrative for them to help you stay alive. If anything, nope, it get in the way of what they're planning for your estate. That's what sucks. You don't know really people's intentions, or why people don't believe in my stuff, or why they do. But you know why they do, because they understand, but why they don't. And it could be because they are going to inherit something, or they are in the medical holistic system and they're selling their friends and family all the tinctures and things like that. Or somehow I slighted them because I called them on their bullshit. Or I won't let them get on my Facebook and just disparage me left and right. So there's many reasons people don't like me, and I can give a fuck. I figured out. I finally woke up. Whether you wake up or not, it's irrelevant, because you will figure it out yourself where you want. But yeah, what is it? When you diagnose life, and I don't care if you're a holistic person diagnosing life, energy, death is the only answer. That's why those in the chemtrails world, those in the different activist world, they're just energizing themselves out of existence. They are allowing everyone to pull every resource out of them. They don't understand balance, or they would stay alive, most likely indefinitely, if they understood that it's really not the chemtrails. It's really not anyone out there. If things change, you go into another microbiome and you happen to feel something and you're taking an herb for a tiny thing, when you're going to the doctor every freaking 5 minutes because you feel something, you already set the stage. So when someone changes the environment on a drastic level, you already allowed them to influence you so much where you feel so horrible for them changing the environment, but you couldn't handle a change even when they didn't change the environment. Let's say even 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. People were still taking all the alchemy, all the little alchemy witches out there that are doing their brews and everything and selling it to the nearest person. You're helping people not understand how to adapt to their environment. So this major change is going on, chemtrails and the HARP and the CERN and the Wi-Fi. It's just more in your face of what you already can't tolerate anyways on a smaller scale. Now there's like, you know what? You already can't tolerate change anyways. You're already taking all your little supplements every single time the fucking wind changes. So what's a big wind change? What's a big barometric pressure dropping or rising? Who cares? You already can't handle life anyways. So what's the fucking difference? So yeah, so just watch everyone in the activist community. They're just going to be energizing themselves out of existence. And you just got to let it play out. You can't convert them. They already are gone. They're too far gone. Or they've defriended me because they wanted to blame the V's. And I'm like, I'm not blaming the V's. That's the least of your worries when you think about it. If you haven't taken a V, who gives a fuck? And when there was no V's, people were still dying of cancer disease and chronic illness. They had certain types of inoculations, like way back in the early Chinese dynasties, where they were taking bits and pieces of people's crusty scabs of disease and then grinding it up in a thing and making it all like into a powder, and then have people sniff it up, and they get exposed to it and get the immunity to it. So that was already happening way back in BC days in the Chinese dynasties, okay? So what we're doing today is no fucking different, just having a preemptive exposure to somebody else's information that you're going to be exposed to anyways at some point. But if you can't fucking handle it, you're not handling it anyways, no matter what. So it's irrelevant. And so yeah, I got defriended from some of the people that are major activists in the anti-V world. Whatever. But you let it all play out, because they will blame everyone under the sun. And they still do. They will never take responsibility that they have to feed the energy. My information's out there. It's all for free. My book just gives it in more of an organized form, but I've told you many times, you know, you got to release those demons in a way, and I say get off the J juice and just feel the energy, because the ionosphere is giving you all the energy that's in the freaking J juice, that you don't have to take the J juice anymore, because it'll cure you. And what does that mean, cure you? It'll trap the demons inside and torture you and age you quicker. And you will still have to deal with the breakthrough infection when you finally want to face the demons. So anyways, but my stuff's for free. There is nothing in there that is not for free. And the book is like $5. That's basically for fucking free. $5 for an electronic book. Again, if you want the actual paperback version, it's like $30. That's really pretty good for something that's going to save your life. Gives you like a platform, because the next book that I'm writing, it'll be probably around 2030. I'm going to let some years go by, because I got to show me go through all this barometric pressure up and down and calling things for what they are and dealing with all these different storms. Because yeah, by 2030, we should know, where people are. Writing another book right now would be too soon. You have to see the platform. You have to see me talk about stuff. But yeah, when you diagnose life, death is the only answer. So watch all of your friends and family in the holistic world, in the energy healing world, in every single world, in their MLM world. Diagnose every single energy, every single symptom, every single mucus, and say mucus is so horrible. No, mucus is letting you know there's life inside of you that is giving you your intelligence, and also is a carrier force of the demons out of your body. But you're going to see everyone out there who's in the holistic, allopathic, energy healing world who are doing cryotherapy, jumping into water, doing breathing mechanisms, all the yoga and the meditation and the orgonite, all of it playing with the crystals, saying, oh gosh, if you take a crystal here and put it here, it's going to chase the demons away. No, it's only going to reflect back the demons stronger when you have crystals. Because all it does is it reflects the energy that you have within. If you have really crazy ass energy and you have demons, it's going to make the demons stronger. But you can't tell someone this. They're following the holistic world. That's who they worship. Okay. So when you diagnose life and you're trying to find all these different things to play with your frequencies and all that stuff, death is the only answer. And they're like, oh God, you're going to vibrate at a higher frequency. If you have the substance behind you, you have someone who's 100 pounds soaking wet and you want them to vibrate at a higher frequency, they'll end up dead. You put them near any kind of transformer that is highly energetic and you see them vibrate at a higher frequency, they'll be like zzz, and then done. Or vital organ shut down. So all these people are like all into the whole vibrating at a higher frequency shit, don't know what the fuck they're talking about on a biophysical level. You gotta have substance behind you to vibrate at a higher frequency. You gotta have some fat, you gotta have boobs, you gotta have a butt, you gotta have a belly, you gotta have substance. But you have, again, someone who's like 100 pounds wet, vibrating at a higher frequency, you're trying to destroy them with all of your voodoo shit. All right. Happy Sunday. Bye.